In today's world, the hum of constant activity never seems to cease. Our days are filled with notifications, appointments, deadlines, and the persistent tug of obligations. We're connected at all times, phones vibrating, laptops chiming, televisions murmuring in the background. Even in quiet moments, our minds race with to-do lists and worries. But what happens when we step back and listen? Not to the cacophony around us, but to the silence we've forgotten exists? Let's journey into a story. Imagine a man named Daniel, successful by every external measure. He wakes early, sprints through his morning routine, responds to emails as he gulps down coffee, and heads into a day packed with meetings, calls, and projects. The city outside his window is alive with the sounds of traffic and people. Daniel's life is a symphony of noise, external and internal. He believes this is progress, that the busier he is, the more he achieves. But beneath the surface, there's a sense of restlessness, a yearning for something deeper that he can't quite define. One night, Daniel receives a call from his sister. Their childhood friend Emily has passed away unexpectedly. The news halts him in his tracks. Memories rush back, bike rides down quiet lanes, laughter under starlit skies, afternoons spent in the shade of ancient oaks, talking about dreams and fears. He remembers how Emily loved silence, how she'd often step away from a bustling group to sit alone, simply listening. Daniel realizes he hasn't sat in silence for years. He wonders what he's lost in its absence. The next morning, Daniel wakes before dawn. Instead of reaching for his phone, he sits by his window and watches the sky slowly brighten. He hears the first bird calls, the gentle rustling of leaves, the distant rhythm of footsteps. In the quiet, thoughts surface. Memories of childhood, questions about his choices, a gentle ache for connection. He feels the weight of the world's noise, and for the first time, he wonders if it's all necessary. As days pass, Daniel begins carving out time for silence. He turns off his devices, lets his mind wander, and listens to the subtle sounds around him. At first, it's uncomfortable. The absence of distraction brings anxieties to the surface. But gradually, he finds comfort in this space. He notices small details, the way sunlight falls across his desk, the sound of his own breathing, the pulse of his heart. In silence, he begins to hear his true priorities whispering to him. He remembers Emily's philosophy, that life's greatest treasures often hide in the quiet. She used to say that the world tries to convince us that busyness is meaning, that noise is proof of living. But real depth, a sense of purpose, joy, and peace, comes when we pause and listen. Daniel starts to question the choices he's made. Why do meetings run late into the evening? Why does he check his phone every few minutes? Why does he feel compelled to fill every moment with activity? As he reflects, he realizes much of his busyness is reactive, driven by expectation and habit, not by intention. The noise has become a shield, protecting him from uncomfortable truths, from the vulnerability of presence. He remembers a story Emily once told him about a village nestled in the mountains. The villagers believed that silence was a form of wisdom, a way to connect with the world's mysteries. Each evening, they would gather atop a hill and simply listen, to the wind, to the distant river, to each other's breath. In those moments, they felt close to something sacred, something that couldn't be touched by words or noise. Inspired, Daniel decides to reshape his life. He begins to say no to commitments that drain him. He sets boundaries around his time, protecting moments of quiet reflection. He reconnects with old friends over slow, meaningful conversations. He finds joy in simple activities, walking in nature, reading by candlelight, cooking with care. The noise doesn't vanish, but it no longer dominates his existence. Daniel's world becomes richer. He discovers that in silence, creativity blooms. Ideas come unbidden, fresh and clear. Relationships deepen as he listens more attentively, free from distraction. He finds clarity in decision-making, guided by inner wisdom rather than external pressure. Most importantly, he feels present, alive to the beauty and complexity of each moment. The transformation isn't without challenge. The world still demands attention, and the lure of noise is ever present. Daniel sometimes struggles, slipping back into old habits, but he remembers Emily's words. Silence is not emptiness. It is space for what matters. He returns to his practice, trusting that the most important things in life are often found not in the busy rush, but in the gentle quiet. As Daniel's story unfolds, a larger truth emerges. Many of us fill our lives with noise, believing it brings fulfillment. We chase deadlines, accumulate possessions, seek constant stimulation. But the pursuit of more often leaves us feeling less connected, less content, less whole. The antidote isn't another distraction, but a willingness to pause and listen. Consider your own life. When was the last time you sat in silence, free from technology, obligations, and chatter? What might you notice if you allowed yourself to be still? You might hear the voice of longing, the memory of joy, the hint of a new direction. You might discover that the priorities you thought were urgent are, in fact, less important than time with loved ones, creative exploration, or personal growth. Reclaiming silence is an act of courage. It means facing what lies beneath the surface, our fears, hopes, regrets, and dreams. It means letting go of the myth that busyness is the hallmark of a meaningful life. It means choosing, moment by moment, to attend to what truly matters. Daniel's story is not unique. It is the story of anyone who has felt overwhelmed by life's clamor, who has wondered if there might be another way. It is a reminder that in a world obsessed with noise, you have the power to choose differently. You can step back, listen, and let your true priorities reveal themselves. So, as you move through your days, consider the value of quiet. Protect moments of stillness. Listen for the subtle cues of your heart and mind. Ask yourself what matters most, and make space for those things to flourish. The world will always offer noise, but meaning grows in silence. Remember, your life is not defined by how much you do, but by the depth with which you live. In the spaces between words, in the pauses between actions, in the gentle hush that follows the day's end. There you will find clarity, connection, and peace. Let silence change your story. Let it change your priorities. The greatest treasures are waiting, just beyond the noise.